Hey Star Wars fans and action figure collectors, got another vintage collection review for you today. Long awaited, much needed Luke Skywalker from A New Hope. VC344. Closing in on 350 very, very fast. Yeah, I had to grab a couple of these, so I wanted one for the cantina. I wanted to switch out a couple of older Lukes. I just think this one looks fantastic. Eagerly awaiting. It's been a lot of years since we've had a quote unquote, just typical classic farm boy Luke from A New Hope. And yeah, this one, it looks like they've got the job done with this one, which is very, very exciting. Let's do the classic card back with Luke with the flipped image, so that he is facing the wrong way. But it's I know it's like a design perspective where they've chosen to have him facing the inside of the card towards the figure as opposed to just sort of looking out. But here we go, 344, a little bit of a write-up. There's another picture of the figure. Looks really, really good. I'm excited. Leia was fantastic last year. Very excited for Han Solo and Ben Kenobi. Hopefully we'll see them this year. But for now, let's bust open Luke Skywalker and have a look. All right, here we go. Luke out of the packaging, looking good. He's got his accessories. Does come with his lit lightsaber hilt, which is nice. They're still going down with this weird sort of smaller scale of the lightsaber hilts. But this one doesn't look too bad. I don't know what it is. What they've done recently in recent years with the changing of the lightsabers. What I do like is that they've gone for the unlit pegged hilt as well, which is nice. So you get that, and that will peg onto that sort of weird little hole there. I think once it's in there, it'll look fine, and it does. But without it, kind of looks a little bit weird on the figure. You do have that spot on the side of the belt too. So you've got a couple of options. I kind of like that on there. And I've also got his little droid caller. It's a droid caller. I don't think it's the comlink. It's the droid caller. So once that's sitting there on the belt, that looks fine. But yeah, it's cool to be able to mix them up. You could have them in either spot, wherever you see fit. And of course, you get him holding the lightsaber. But boy, just looking at the head sculpt, this is a really great likeness of, a young 19-year-old Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill. Let's get a good close-up look. Yeah, Mark Hamill's face has always been a tough one to capture well. And all you need to do is just inspect some photos from each of the movies. And even from scene to scene, he tends to look different depending on where his hair's sitting. It's interesting, but I think they've captured it here. I think they've done really well, just capturing that iconic looking Luke, farm boy Luke. And like I said, this has been a long time coming, this figure. It's so good to have it in hand finally. We'll get that lightsaber out the way just so we can get a focus on the figure itself. And the sculpt of the hair's nice, the colouring's good. It's got that sort of dusty blonde. A few bit of dark shading in the wash over the top of the hair, looks nice. Even I love the sculpt of the fact that the shirt is sort of sculpted over the neck, almost as a separate piece. It just gives it that little bit more depth as opposed to trying to blend in the paint and get the paint in the right place. Especially in those sort of the slight little corners of the shirt, like right in there. There's always been a bit tricky in the past to get paint to line up. You always tend to get bleeding, but this time they've just almost cast it as a separate piece. I dare say that sort of neck and sort of upper chest would just sort of slot in when they're manufacturing these figures, which is great. The sculpt on the rest of the outfit's looking pretty damn good. I love the wrinkles and the creases in the fabric. Belt's got some nice details in it too. Nice clean padding applications considering the size. And even the pouches on the back get a couple of silver buttons. So there's a slight little paint difference between the upper thigh and the lower. You can maybe just pick that up. It seems to be a lot clearer on camera than it is to the naked eye. I also am not wearing my glasses right this moment, so it could be that too. But hey, I can see the difference on camera, and yeah, it's not as obvious in person. My eyes aren't zoomed up like that. And then the sculpt of the wraps and the boots look nice. I think the interesting thing with this figure is I think a lot of people sort of pointed out that the leg wraps and the boots were sort of left an off-white. You know, they're completely different white to up here, so it's not like they're unpainted. But, you know, if we take a previous version of Luke, which will do a little bit closer look, you know, he's got the darker boots, and even the Black Series one that just came out recently, he's got the darker leg wraps. So again, this could be sort of scene specific, but if we look at the card back, with the image there, yeah, it's not entirely off. You know, it could just be a lighting thing, but I'm not too fussed. You know, a little bit of a wash might help it pop a little bit better, but I think that's fine. But yeah, good paint apps all around. You know, the lightsaber, obviously we spoke about that being pegged into the side. I think the only thing sort of missing accessory wise would be the macro binoculars that the Black Series one came with. But that's all right. I'm sure we've got some spares sitting around and get him to hold. But yeah, I did want to get another one to have with the poncho and the hat, so we're going to take a look at that afterwards as well, just sort of see how that fits. But yeah, really, really happy with this Luke. Articulation wise, he's got the double barbell in the head and upper neck, ball hinges in the shoulders, ball hinges in the elbows, ball hinges in the wrists, both up and down, and of course a swivel in there as well. He's got the barbell at the waist, barbells in the hips, swivels at the top of the thighs, ball hinge in the knees, ball hinge in the ankles, and the rocker in the foot. So very, very nice. We're going to chuck him on a KR stand and see how the stand works with this brand spanking new Luke. Again, that's oh no, there we go, they're in. It's just a little bit of a snug fit, which is fantastic. You'd want a snug fit. I was a little bit concerned that the peg wasn't going to go into the foot there, but it has. There's an ever so slight little gap, but you know, that's not going anywhere. That's on the stand. That's not moving anywhere. So just to compare, this was sort of a slight custom of the other most recent version in, you know, the prime articulation. This came with the Lars Homestead some years ago. They did retool this body for the vintage collection when they did the Death Star Escape Luke, and he had the white belt, white Stormtrooper belt. But yeah, I just put an X-Wing Luke head on this one and made him look a little bit better. But boy, oh boy, having them next to each other, that's apples and oranges, I think. That is insane, the amount of difference there. And to be honest, I actually really like the white of his shirt. The difference between that and the rest of the outfit is just fantastic. Well done, Hasbro. You've absolutely cooked with this figure. This is fantastic. I won't go into too much detail with the Black Series, but you can kind of see they're both. So he's got the droid collar on the side. So I'm going to swap them around. Put the lightsaber on the side. But yeah, let's freeze frame there for a second, and we'll get the poncho out. and thanks to some clever editing and pause work, here is the figure I'm looking to upgrade. And yeah, I will be getting another one of these because I want an upgrade for the Cantina. But yeah, this one is due for an upgrade, so we're going to see how this goes. I've always had a little bit of blue tack under his hat, just to help keep it on. And you know, this figure has served me well for a lot of years. But yeah, it's time. It's time to switch it up. Let's do that. Right here with the poncho, looks good. So you can even use him without the hat, so you can have him with, you know, Ben walking the streets of Mos Eisley just after as they're on their way to meet Han at the Falcon. And that looks pretty good. Let's try with the hat. Fantastic. That's what the doctor ordered, people. Yeah, I'm going to say this is definitive Luke for me. I might even be able to take that blue tack out a little bit and just get it sitting a little bit further down on his head. But yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, really super happy with this Luke. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please drop a comment down below. And if you're interested in any of these KR stands, jump on KesselRunHair.com. There is a link in the description. Grab yourself a bag of stands and you know, check out all the future pre-orders we've got up right now. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you again very soon for more reviews. Till then, may the force be with you always.